These days, they live in the era of any song comes, they have a dance
for it. They have a dance for it.
Oh, baby, it's a lot.
But sometimes I think about it, a lot of things has changed over the last, say, 10, 20 years. Charlie, remember the days we used to play chaskele?
Yeah, chaskele, gota to gota, small balls. Ate Mohi,
stay for you.
Stay for you. Namoyela we Dikos Pitinge Alukuto Zanzama shaking me. Back in the day.
I don't know.
Many of these games sound dangerous.
Charlie,
if you get a wicked guy where he play stay for you,
which one is stay for you?
You don't know stay for you. Charlie, when did you grow up?
Is it Peter?
Montessori.
Peter.
No, that one is Namoyela we Namoyela. We're still moving the stones. Yeah. So
and now see Peter.
Drop it. I better send the letter to my lover on the way I go. But I can't go away to sing. Drop it. Oh my God. Now we this. Oh my God. No, we have lived before. I think that today's children have a different kind of experience, their own way of playing. They are not doing their own milk tin vehicles.
No,
they are not doing their own kites. They are not doing their own paper aeroplanes. There's stuff like that. These days they are more on the what do you call it, on the internet, doing a lot more Lego. They're doing a lot more video games. That's where the issues are.
But we should be concerned though, because there's also the psychological, social part of it. There's also the physical part of it. Because Charlie, we were outdoors. We were outdoors.
And as a nation, we're getting fatter and fatter, as are our young ones. So
obese,
overweight
and out of shape.
But don't forget that the system was easy to trust at the time. There was a lot more honesty in the system. There were no kidnappings. There were no. They will cut your head. See all those things. Now,
Charlie, but that thing's always been there.
I was going to say, I remember.
In a typical Ghanaian community back then, you won't have all those kinds of typical.
But it was always there. Remember that time, Dansoman?
Yes, Dansoman Mataiko.
Oh, some Mashola, something.
Yes, Mashola.
Those were
on the brink of 99 to 2000.
Yes,
Charlie, was scary those days.
Yeah. That's the childhood that I particularly remember. So maybe going back a few years, maybe a few more years, it would have felt a lot more stable. But also, I mean, there's less and less greenery. There's nowhere in the city, when you think about it, if you are walking in Accra, you want to sit down, where do you sit down?
It's true.
There's nowhere to sit.
I have that challenge when I take the family out for a drive. You can't park anywhere and sit down.
Just sit down.
Back then, we used to go around the children's park. You could sit down, pigs around cantonments. You could sit down, Jaulu.
If was Sutherland?
Yes. If was Sutherland. It was the thing too. I mean, it was a big deal. Charlie, when they go children's park, it was a big deal.
So how do parents entertain the kids these days?
All those things.
Tablets.
Oh, Charlie.
So parents, listen, we have to be deliberate about this thing. Charlie, find time. Let the kids just get out of the room.
I wonder if they still do Kidda Fest.
Oh no, that's in that.
No, Kidda Fest.
Kidda Fest, and we had playback.
They had Fun World.
Fun World.
So I was next at Kidda Fest and Fun World.
Oh, I see.
Yes, that's why. Yes, I was on. That was where I cut my. Yes.
There was this line that was always there.
I actually have a certificate for it.
Oh, I see.
You be better.
I used to look for playback show, Kidda Fest, Fun World. Kidda Fest had us. Is it Kidda Fest? Kidda Fest. Come to the Kidda Fest.
And Fun World.
Sixtus don't. Say some.
He was not in Accra at the time, please.
You know when I came to Accra?
He was not in Accra.
But they used to show it on TV. They used to show it on TV.
I wasn't watching TV. Growing up, the only programs I was watching on TV were
news and talking points. Thank you.
Those were the only programs I was allowed to watch on television. Yes.
So my dad used to buy all these newspapers. Recently I saw The Voice. So there was A Voice, there was Free Press, Chronicle, PMP. My dad used to buy
PMP
every morning.
Auntie Adiza.
Every morning. No, Auntie Adiza. Was it in PMP?
PMP had a color.
There was one called Ebony.
Please.
But then my dad used to buy like tons of newspapers, Graphic Times, and he would read. You know, you come back from school, you're given a portion of it to read.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you have discussions with him.
Wow.
You know, that kind of thing. You watch talking point, all those boring things. But he also gave you the opportunity to have fun.
But that's true.
You know,
that's true.
And that's why it comes to me easily mixing with all manner of people. You know, I see the live band people at the jump some. I see the drama people at there. I see the drama people at there. You know, it helps.
You did everything so.
I think that a lot more restrictions have been put on children these days.
Rather?
Also because of, because of the exposure to many different things that they are not sure of. Because before you know...
Even the parents are not sure.
Yes, they are not sure. I make it a point to preview every cartoon that my Obrimpong and now Kuku would watch before I let them see it.
You know when I realized this? Some cartoon, if I mention the title, you go laugh. Charlie, I thought it was your ordinary, your normal cartoon for kids, and make a mention. The title be Sausage Party.
Hey.
What a party!
Sausage.
What a party! What just
It's not for kids at all.
I've seen the trailer for that cartoon.
Yes.
It's an adult
From
cartoon.
From the design of the characters to the language of the characters to the action of the characters. Oh no, it's not.
Sixtus, you could have at least watched the trailer to get an idea.
Well, so
that's what I'm saying. That was when I realized that no, the cartoons are no longer for kids.
Because back then, if the cartoons were showing, and you had to wait for the TV to come on.
Yes.
Oh, Charlie. Yeah. Those days.
These days, the channels are there.
Yes, it's cartoon on demand.
Yes, on demand. But then you had to wait for the TV to come on. Then you have those multicolored, lines on the screen.
Then count down.
Then count down, and then you hear ping. Say, when will this thing come so we can watch some?
TV3 was at 5 or something like that.
Yeah, and then you had Art Cycle. Art Cycle will start. Then and then Charlie, we've been through it.
Art Cycle wasn't that Metro?
Yes, that was Metro. Ajwaidu and one other I've forgotten. But anti-adolescents said those were the good old days, and we innocently played Mama and Dada and Agrita. Do you know Agrita, Helen?
What is that?
You don't know that. You didn't know
that.
Yeah. You didn't play. You never had a sheet. What we call sheet.
What?
Sheet.
But are these
your own locally made skate.
Oh, that's one.
No.
With the Agri. Yeah.
The 4 times.
Yes,
small one.
Yes.
Oh, they had a name for this thing.
We called it Agri. Agri-tie. Yes, Agri-tie.
Like a skateboard.
Wooden cars. Yes, like a skateboard and with wooden stairs. I mean, these days.
Charlie. Those were the days.
Man. I mean, we used to have Bronya dying, as it's called, Bronya Chu.
The one with the palm fronds.
Are the old days really the good days?
Well, if you consider now, we're just talking about where to go out. Tomorrow is Saturday. Tomorrow next will be Sunday. Where to go out to go and hang out with the family if you want to. These days you have to be stuck in your room, turn on the AC, turn on TV. Well, but even your mutual joint, you either go and meet somebody who is smoking or is drinking, exposing your child to all manner of things. I don't smoke, right? So if my child doesn't see me smoking and all of a sudden he goes out and he finds 2, 3, 4 people smoking.
I can't even stand the smoke.
He thinks that it's a cool thing to do.
Johnnie mentioned 2 things. I don't smoke.
Yes.
What about you?
Yeah. I drink water.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I drink.
What is good,
water,
bro?
But I don't smoke. So
pure water.
Yes. So you're also being very careful how you socialize your child so that you don't expose your child to.
People have been going to that, they are buffing away like this.
No, but it's not. So you see, wherever they sell food, they sell drinks these days. I mean, gone were the days when you had, the food was more than the drinks. These days, the food is actually competing with the drinks at the same location.
This is the time to call on our local assemblies to stop giving out the parks, recreational areas, designated social centers, and all of those things to developers.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's part of our problem.
It is.
You get into a local area, and practically there's no common space for the community. The football parks, are they parks or fields or patches or whatever? They've all been taken over, converted into high-rise buildings for the people who cannot afford. The places that have been designated for parks for the kids and even the adults, they've all been taken over.
Yeah.
Reallocated to developers. to put up buildings that cannot be afforded by the people. The places that have been designated for all recreational activities. You get into the communities, those areas have all been taken over. That is part of the reason. In the development planning of the local area, the assemblies should ensure that all these areas that have been earmarked for such purposes should remain as such. I mean, it's not all about beautiful buildings. We are gradually losing our oneness, our communal spirit, because the reason why after church you can't stay back or even on the church grounds to say hello to other people is that the sun is too hot, and there's nowhere to sit. You can't come out of the church auditorium and then go back in there to sit down and chat. In fact, in the Catholic Church, you don't even chat in the church.
No, it's not. It's abominable.
It's a holy place. It's a sanctuary.
So you know what we did at my church, St. Joseph the Work Anglican Church? When the Anglican Young People's Association, AYP as we call it, like YPG Presbyterian Church, CYO, the Catholic Church, we planted trees. Right around the church, and then we had an almond tree, and that's where people sit under it, and then they have that kind of thinking. And I side with you, Sixtus, on this whole assembly giving off land to developers. Now even the military lands are being taken away from them. And then
I like it. Even military
lands. I mean, military lands are being taken away from them. So 2 years ago, I knew a military installation because of what my dad did. I knew that this particular house and that one, 57, 58 on the Patrice Lumumba Street, were military installations, right? There were places reserved for senior military officers to live in. 2 years down the line, the military property has been taken off, and it says coming soon, Airport Tower, Golden Key Properties. And I said, how did the military land get into the hands of private? I can't understand.
Are you sure the military is not the operator of Golden Key?
They are not.
Or maybe they have a room inside it.
Or they have shares in Golden Key Limited.
The military is not supposed to be a profit-making venture. So if really they are the ones getting into it, then there's a problem. Their focus will now be how to make money and who can pay them to do what they want to do, as opposed to their core duty of protecting the territorial boundaries of the country and, sometimes supporting with internal security. But I digress. Go to Mamprobi right now, Mamprobi Simpe. That landfill site, sanitary site I spoke about the other time. Nisimpe is not happy about it because as paramount chief of the area, he doesn't even know what's going on. Nobody has spoken to an AMA boss, nobody. And that place also used to have a football park. It's like it goes without saying that all those sanitary sites have football parks that youngsters go and play. That's where scouts come, they identify talent and all of that. So once you wipe off that, recreation is gone, ability to honor talent is gone, entertainment and relaxation is gone. They're just going to build a shopping arcade, and it's going into one person's pocket.
That's all.
Finish.
How do you develop a society? So over time, you see that we'll grow a society where everybody is stressed. You greet somebody good and say, and
you see that a lot on the road.
There's so much fight on the road.
You greet somebody good morning. Good morning.
Honestly, that's why they say here men account for 60% of deaths in the country. Yes. For every 10 people that die, 6 are men. Blood pressure, heart failure, stroke. Man, what is going on?
There's no greenery to go and sit there and say you're just watching, the lake or a certain river greenery. I like Asinkushia. That's Sam Jonas' little brother's. Is it little brother or elder brother? It's brother. Let me know. Commit a blunder. It's in Asinkushia. It's in the central region. Okay. And look, when you go to the place, you fall in love.
Wow.
There's a river running through the town. The grass is so green and nice.
Wow.
He has ducks in the river. He has an alligator pond. He has chickens. He reared chickens and
deliberate planning.
Yes, they lay eggs, and every afternoon the children in the schools in the town are giving boiled eggs. It's a giving.
Wow.
Yeah, he has.
And this is an individual.
Yes, this is an individual who's just thinking about, okay, how do I make, because Asinkushia has a history. So it is Kushia, the place where they meet before they deploy the army to go and fight.
Okay.
That's a sin kushia.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Now, he decides that, okay, this is the history of the place, but this is also a central point. Why don't we, because we are not fighting anybody anymore, why don't we turn it into something that can still bring people, rake in revenue, and make the people enjoy a sweet life? He's not selling the lands.
Sweet idea.
You know.
But it's serious. So if you go to some parts of Adabraka, for instance, almost every Saturday, a portion of the street is blocked for people to have their funerals because there are no spaces.
There are no spaces.
But you see, it's quite surprising that in a crowd that we actually require some of these spaces because there are a lot of people here. You don't see it. But you go to villages, and I went to Swede Road the other time.
That's not the painful
and they have community centers.
The painful part is the demolition of the traditional structures, these old historic structures, to put up all these hostels for students. In the same Adabraka that you're talking about, you see a house, the design, the architectural design.
In fact, the date sometimes is even there.
It's even there.
18 something.
Serious.
Yes, and all these have meaning. They are significant.
They tell the story of the area.
They tell stories. But we are...
You know, when we went to South Africa last year, there's a whole community that has been taken over as it's now a heritage site. You can't just wake up and decide that I'm painting my house blue. No.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So the colors have been, pretty selected for you.
Even though blue may be your favorite color.
Yes, but